Have you ever noticed how, when someone cuts you off in traffic, you instantly think they're a jerk, but when you do it, you're just in a hurry?
Yeah, that's so true. I tell myself, I didn't mean to, I just didn't see them. But when someone else does it, it's like, wow, what an inconsiderate human.
Exactly. That right there is one of psychology's sneakiest biases, the fundamental attribution error.
Sounds technical. What does it actually mean?
It's our natural tendency to explain other people's behavior by their personality, but explain our own behavior by the situation.
So when others mess up, it's who they are. When we mess up, it's what happened.
Exactly. Psychologists coined the term in the 1970s. They found that humans are basically storytellers. We fill in the gaps about people's motives without realizing how biased our stories are.
So we act like mind readers, but only when judging others.
Right. If a coworker shows up late, we assume they're lazy or disorganized. If we're late, we blame traffic or a bad morning. Same behavior, completely different story.
That's so unfair. But also, weirdly comforting to know everyone does it.
We do it because it makes the world simpler. Thinking, they're just that kind of person, saves mental effort. Context is complicated, character feels clear.
So it's a shortcut, our brain trading accuracy for ease.
Exactly. But that shortcut comes at a cost. Empathy. When we assign motives instead of circumstances, we stop understanding people.
That's deep. It reminds me of how people judge strangers online. Like, someone posts one opinion, and suddenly they're labeled as arrogant or ignorant, without knowing anything else about them.
Perfect example. The digital age turbocharges the attribution error. We see fragments of behavior and fill in the blanks with personality assumptions.
But wait, why is it called fundamental?
Because it's built into how we perceive cause and effect. The brain evolved to detect agency, to figure out who did what and why. But in complex societies, that instinct overshoots. We see intention even in accidents.
So basically, we're wired to judge, not to understand.
Exactly. Judgment evolved faster than compassion.
That's heavy. But it kind of makes sense. Back in early human history, guessing someone's intentions wrong could mean danger.
Yes. In the wild, assuming malice kept you alive. In modern life, it just makes you cynical.
So the same instinct that once protected us now just ruins our relationships.
Pretty much. It's the ancient software of survival running on modern hardware.
Okay, that's actually kind of funny. Like, version 1.0 of human judgment. Update desperately needed.
Exactly. And psychologists have tried to debug it for decades. Classic studies by Lee Ross and Richard Nisbett showed that people consistently underestimate how much context influences behavior.
Give me an example.
In one study, participants watched a game of Quizmaster. One person asked questions, another answered. Everyone rated the questioner as smarter, even though they knew roles were randomly assigned. People ignored the setup and credited ability instead of situation.
Wow. So even when we know the system is rigged, we still think it's personality.
Exactly. The bias is so deep that logic barely touches it.
That explains why people blame the poor for being lazy, instead of seeing the system that traps them.
Yes. The same cognitive error scales up to politics, economics, even morality. We love to believe people get what they deserve because it simplifies injustice.
That connects perfectly with last video's just world fallacy.
Exactly. The just world fallacy explains why we need fairness. The fundamental attribution error explains how we fake it.
That's such a clean connection.
When life feels random, we restore order by assigning blame. The more uncertain we are, the harsher our judgments.
So judgment is really anxiety in disguise.
Beautifully said. Condemnation gives control. It's easier to believe someone failed because of who they are than to admit it could happen to anyone.
That's chilling. It means every judgment hides fear.
Pretty much. But there's another layer: culture. Western societies tend to emphasize individuality, so they over-attribute to character. Eastern cultures, more collective, focus more on context.
So even our geography shapes our bias.
Exactly. The same behavior can mean rude in one culture and assertive in another.
That explains so many cross-cultural misunderstandings, like direct eye contact, respectful in some places, aggressive in others.
Exactly. The fundamental attribution error doesn't just distort how we see people. It distorts how we interpret intent.
So the cure must be empathy again, right?
Empathy and humility. The humility to admit we rarely see the full story.
That's hard, though. The brain hates incomplete pictures.
True, but that's where awareness comes in. Once you know the bias exists, you can pause before assuming motives. Ask, what might be happening around them that I can't see?
That question alone could save so many arguments.
Exactly. Relationships crumble when we assign intention instead of curiosity.
Yeah. Like when someone doesn't text back and we assume they're ignoring us, when they might just be busy or struggling.
Yes. Or when a friend cancels plans and we think, they don't care. But maybe they're exhausted. Context changes everything.
So the fundamental attribution error isn't just about strangers. It's in every fight, every miscommunication.
Exactly. We misinterpret silence as rejection, mistakes as character flaws, emotions as evidence. It's the root of so many human misunderstandings.
And it goes both ways. Sometimes we excuse ourselves too much by blaming the situation.
Good point. There's a mirror version called the self-serving bias. When we succeed, we credit ourselves. When we fail, we blame the environment.
So together, those two biases keep us blind.
Exactly. One shields our ego, the other shields our certainty.
That's fascinating. It's like the mind will do anything to avoid feeling wrong.
That's its main job. Protect coherence, not truth.
So truth feels threatening, and judgment feels safe.
Exactly. And the irony is, the more we judge others, the less accurately we see ourselves.
That's heavy.
But freeing. Once you see the illusion, you can choose understanding instead of assumption.
So, in practical terms, how do we fix it?
Start by giving people the explanations you give yourself. When someone snaps, imagine their day, not their disposition. When someone fails, see their context before their character.
That's powerful. It's like empathy as a thought experiment.
Exactly. Empathy doesn't excuse behavior, it explains it. Understanding isn't agreement, it's awareness.
That's such a healthy distinction.
And here's the twist. When you extend that grace to others, you start applying it to yourself. You stop defining yourself by mistakes and start understanding them.
So the path to compassion for others starts with compassion for self.
Exactly. The brain learns symmetry.
That's poetic.
It's also practical. Every time you resist judgment, you train your perception to see nuance. Over time, that changes how you interpret the world.
So we become what we assume.
Exactly. If you assume malice, you find enemies. If you assume complexity, you find humanity.
That's a quote-worthy line right there.
Because it's true. The world doesn't lack good people. It lacks patient observers.
That's such a curiosity vault ending.
Almost.
Almost.
We still have to invite them back.
Right.
The fundamental attribution error reminds us that perception is storytelling. When you understand the limits of your own story, you begin to see others clearly.
And once you see others clearly, empathy stops being effort. It becomes instinct.
Exactly. If you enjoyed this exploration, subscribe to The Curiosity Vault, where we uncover the hidden forces shaping your thoughts and behavior. Until next time, stay curious.